Yeah.
Oh, I can sit right here. Right here is fine too.
Cameraman ready to go? It's taking me so long. Yeah, right. Most of them. That's everybody? I think so. I don't think a lot is good. Yeah, gather the folks, gather the folks.
I'll let one young come up and read what you want to come and look.
Somebody come up. You all right, Mala?
Yeah, just a little. Then made you. Yeah. So long.
So,
Young King.
yeah, I'm going to right there.
And
Let's get it, man.
yeah, we still finna get that camera soon, so.
Yeah, but we live right now. We live. Tell them they can find see if they can, because they're on my channel, see if they can find the live.
Hey, y'all got Shawapar live? He said y'all should be on the channel, y'all find live. Let somebody want to see.
Oh, yes, the Lord's work now, y'all. All praise.
Brother Kaya. Somebody needs
Sooner or later,
big
$1
next
billion
week.
want to be worth a bottle of water. They killing our water. Killing our food. How 18,000 cows just died. They talk about oops explosion.
Yeah,
18,000 cows.
Yeah.
My G, I wish I had 3.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? They wasted 18,000 like that.
Yeah, son coming behind up, King, like, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom, how you doing? All right.
So, with all this calamity, right, and all the these prophecies, because I've been going through the prophets and it's getting crazy. These prophecies is coming out, man. Like yo, that new thing they talking about with AI, they gonna do some serious witchcraft with AI. Like Transformer movie, Matrix, all that shit about to be real. They with the AI, they on some witchcraft shit. Elon Musk said that AI is like summoning a demon. Because they could think independently than a machine. like an empty vessel.
You know, they say Ford finna take all their cars, regular cars, and ain't finna make nothing but some electric cars. And they got a thing talking about everything else. They gonna take everything the AM radio out of them, and everything else they gonna put in. You have to pay for it. Mm-hmm.
So for this new moon, this is gonna be a quick lesson called "It's Brother Time," right? It's Brother Time. So let's get it, man. Let's start with the law. Get the law first, y'all. Deuteronomy 7:6, right? Cause there's a law that we all quote, and we be spitting at the heathen hard, like, yo, Deuteronomy 7:6. But in real life, you don't treat your brother like Deuteronomy 7:6. You treat your brother like click, clack, lickety split, right? So brothers definitely got keen on that one, because Deuteronomy 7:6, it says we are above all people that are upon the face of the earth, right? You know, I always be the most patient I can with my people, right? Because that's law, and that's how we're going to build in these last days. Because the enemy is going to be the enemy, regardless if we arguing or not, right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the enemy is going to be the enemy, right? Whether Shemai, but let me, the enemy is going to be the enemy, regardless if you are going to do this or not. Shemai! So let me get this straight, right? The enemy is going to be the enemy, whether we are arguing or not. That's what I was saying, right? Whether we arguing or not, the enemy is going to be the enemy, right? You see there is collision in Israel right now because the world is ending, and then you got Christians arguing against us. You got our own people that's in Islam, they arguing against us. And certain people gave up on God and all they believe in is money, and they argue against us, right? So we are on a forefront battle, right? Including on mastering our own flesh. So when we practice these laws, we always have to look for a deeper meaning. Let me get Deuteronomy 7:6 right quick.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Read up a little bit. We online.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
We are a holy people. Sometimes you be like, yo, them niggas, they holy. Like, that's what even our own people feel about us. Like, we not holy, nigga. We niggas, right? But we are a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So we supposed to treat each other like that too. That doesn't mean just heathen treat us good. That right there is the ultimate brotherly love cut right there. Because that said we are above all people. So if it's an Israelite, I care. If it's not, I don't care. But if it is, I care. Especially if it's a brother with me, laboring with me, or a sister that I've seen, known, you know what I'm saying, shook her hand, ate her food. We all supposed to look out for one another. In these times, because they're starting to lock things down. They have 15-minute cities now, right? They packing y'all up for the slaughter. And y'all that don't want to repent, y'all just going to go with it, right? Let me get Zephaniah 2:1. Right? The slaughter's coming, man. Right? And y'all following a bunch of Judas goats rocking Baphomets.
This is the book of Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather yourselves together. So I can gather together, O nation not desired.
Oh, what?
O nation not desired.
Oh, nation not desired, man. You think when calamity happened, things would be like urgent. we're out here trying to save all black people. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna be on the news. When things go crazy, they're not gonna say that. Y'all should look at what happened in Ukraine. They wouldn't even let the black people leave. There was black people in school. Some of them were Hamites, but then some of them were our people too. They had them into colleges, wouldn't even let them go during times of war in Ukraine. Locked them up. Say, yo, y'all gotta fight with us. And yeah, they like, hell no, we wanna go back to Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? Jamaica, Haiti, because it's an international school over there. Right? So now, they say, no, Negro, you don't get no exit. You stay here and fight. So what you think they're gonna do when tanks start rolling down the street in here? Can you imagine a Russian tank rolling down your street? Them type of things might be in the near future, man. You gotta get ready. Sit down.
Con, with a school bus right behind it.
Right. Right.
Recruit.
All right, so let me get maybe read that for me one more time.
Come again, Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
O nation that is not desired, right? Read on.
Come, verse 2. Before the decree bring forth.
Before the what?
The decree bring forth.
Before the decree bring forth. Right? That authority come down and say it's time. So before all calamity hit, you're supposed to be gathering more. Read on.
Before the day pass, as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. Right? That's what's going to happen. The fierce anger of the Lord is coming upon all Babylon. And if you're a wicked Israelite, you're going to burn with them, man.
I got a precept for you, Ken.
All right, Con, you got one of the here.
Okay.
You can bring out his face.
Well,
You go first.
okay, Con. This is the book of Hebrews 10, verse 25.
Yeah.
Well, let's start at, let's start at 25, Con. Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. Like you say, hey, it's right around the corner, man. Jacob's trouble, so we got to be exhorting each other, not that scared ass spirit.
Right.
Like brothers can't come with that fearful spirit, man. They got to exhort brothers like mighty men.
Like mighty man.
Yeah, kind.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 2 and verse 25. This day will I begin to put the dread of thee and fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven, who shall hear report of thee, and shall tremble, and be astonished because of thee. That was a precept, because like it was just showing where the Most High put us so above the nations and stuff, like because they know the Most High is our God. They was gonna have fear of us when we just came around. They was gonna tremble.
Like our name gonna be out the world. Like they know me everywhere because the way my God put it down. The way my God put it down, they're gonna hear about me everywhere. They're like, oh, you the children of Israel? They're gonna be like, oh, word? You know what I'm saying? You know, they're gonna be starstruck and they're gonna have fear because they know our God is real. Right? Let me get Proverbs 24 and 16 right quick. Let me ask y'all a question. Could a righteous man offend you?
Shouldn't be offended by the law.
Shouldn't be offended by the law. Right?
Now, now we bringing the truth.
Not only bringing the truth, right? Is a righteous man always truthful?
It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
It's supposed to
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Would a righteous man sin?
You know, both.
He'll get back up.
He'll be falling.
He'll get back up.
Yeah.
Let me get that. Can you read that for me?
This is the book of Proverbs 24 and 16. For a just man falleth 7 times.
So just man falleth 7 times. So, you know, only Yahweh wasn't a blemish. Right? We are all here and we go through our ups and downs. Right? But as you're gonna get back up. You gonna stay down or you gonna get back up, right? Right. That's why was always an honor to me to bring the gospel to DMX. Cause he had that song, "I'm slipping, I'm falling. I got to get up," right? Sometimes it be like that, So this what it is. A just man, he's gonna stumble about 7 times, and 7 can mean any number. That's just completion, right? But as long as she doesn't have that giving up spirit, like, I give up. Like, give up on life. This the life that Yahweh gave you. What you giving up on?
All right, I'm through this Israelite stuff, man. I keeping those laws.
Right, keeping these laws. Yeah. Read that again, King.
Proverbs 24:16. For a just man falleth 7
A
times
just man falleth 7 times. Read on.
and riseth up again.
And rises up again. Yahweh's even allowing us to rise up again. And watch our enemies fall and stumble. This is our time. This ain't the time to be falling back. This is the time actually to step up your game. Right? Read on.
But the wicked.
But the what?
The wicked shall fall into mischief.
It shall fall into mischief. Like, oh, I'm in mischief. I'm doing it. Oh, it's already done. I'm with it. This is what it is, right? It is what it is. It is what it is now. Yeah, this it is what it is. I feel okay. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Right? You can't do that. You can't get stuck in mischief. Right? Especially in these times. Read on.
Con 17. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth.
Right? So this is talking about your enemy, which is your brother.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm gonna actually take some words on that.
Yeah. Nah, this is talking about your enemy, that's your brother. Get Deuteronomy 28 and 54. It's talking about your brother has become your enemy. And you hold that and give me Galatians 4:16.
28:64.
Yeah, he asked for more contents on that, so I gotta break it down. Yeah, bring that out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54.
And this is how Israelites can become enemies for one another. Right? You got a precept too? I hold that.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
His eyes shall be what?
His eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
So this is a curse that hit our whole nation. So even if you actually not under the curses and keeping the law, but if we're not doing it as a nation, this dude's still suffering the curses. He's still looking at me as his enemy, and I ain't even looking at him like that.
And Salaki, you brought a good point out right there, because a lot of us say, well, we can't get killed, because Most High protecting his people on the word. Like you say, it might be a brother or sister that's not following the law.
Right.
And all of us still on the curses, so at any given time, son still happening even though you're keeping the laws. That's my whole point.
You just gotta pray the Most High is with you.
Yeah, kind of.
When that type of stuff happens, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right? So, read on.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Right? So you even have them spousal problems that's gonna happen.
Keep going.
Yeah.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Right? So sooner or later, there's gonna be chaos. I can't get along with nobody in my life. You know what I'm saying? We can't get along with nobody, right? That's a curse that our people go through. So that's how we can become enemies, right? Also, read that in Galatians for me.
This is Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy?
Now, sometimes you can become a person's enemy just by doing this too.
Because I tell you the truth.
Because I told you the truth. Now I become your enemy because I told you the truth. I noticed something. I said something about it. And now you're mad about it. And now you become my enemy because I told you the truth, right? Right, that's what it is. All right, you say you had a precept? Bring that out.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 36. A man's foe shall be they of his own household.
A man's foes shall be they of his own household. Right? So yeah, even in your own household, you'll have enemies. And we are all part of the big household of Israel. Right? Yasha Allah. Right? Kahala, Yahweh B'Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua. We're under the house of Israel, right? The house of Yahushua, right? And the house of our forefather Jacob, right? We're under those houses. So there's gonna be division in our house. So that's how it comes. That enemy is talking about an enemy of your own people, right? So go back to the Proverbs and say, don't rejoice when the enemy falls.
Con.
Yeah.
Proverbs 24 and 17. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth,
Right, read on.
and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth.
And let not your heart be glad when he stumbles, right? Like, yeah, I know that dude was gonna fall off, but you talking about your own people. I knew he's gonna fall off and be back in the hood with me. You know what I'm saying? That's how our people be. With their own, you understand? Right? So a righteous man gonna fall. And it also goes into when he fall, don't be the one to make fun of him. See how that go into that? Right? So let's get we get the book of Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. And you give me Matthew 5 and 23. So this is go time, y'all. All right, I'm bringing out these scriptures to talk about mercy, brotherly love, family love, because I'm telling you, these times coming is going to be trying for everybody. It's going to be trying for everybody. Like I see it, I've been doing my research and I already see it, right? The famine is going to hit us. It's going to be like this. Because as soon as people know there's no more food, they're going to buy all the food. So things are going to have to be on some barter system. I know you, I got you, and us as Israelites all got to form up like that. All right, so read that, King.
This is the book of Matthew 18 and 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Till what?
Till 7 times.
Till 7 times, right? Right? So we over here building. Don't get mad at your brother because he dropped a hammer on your toe, right? Let him know he got to hold that hammer a little tighter, and let's get back building, right? Read on.
Come. Yahushua saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times.
Right? Even if the just man did fall 7 times, read on.
But until 70 times 7.
Yahushua knows that you forgive a person that much times, brother. They might as well say forever. Right? 70 times 7, man. Right? I worked out the math before, but what's the point of even doing it? You understand? Right? So that doesn't mean that you're always supposed to be around people that keep on crossing you, right? Because then it shows you another procedure in Matthew 2, right? I'm gonna get Matthew 18 and 15.
Matthew 18 and 15.
Now,
In the red letter.
Still where you at?
You want this one?
Yeah.
18 and 15 of Matthew in the red
I
letter.
know he in 18 too, so you try to get to it.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee,
Uh-huh.
go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right, so your brother trespassed against you and you feel like they violated you, supposed to go to them and them alone. Read on.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
And now this is politics. This is how we're going to politic with one another while we're building up the nation of Israel, right? You go to him alone, all right? There's still a disagreement. Then you bring in the next party, right? Read on.
Verse 16. Again, red letter. But if he will not hear thee,
Uh-huh.
then take with thee 1 or 2 more,
Right, so we got to have a council. We need 1 or 2 other people on this line. Read on.
that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses,
Uh-huh.
every word may be established.
And once the two witnesses, 2 or 3 witnesses come to a conclusion, then that's what it's supposed to be. Right? Read on.
Verse 17, still in the red letter. And if he shall neglect to hear thee,
Now, if you say, like, all y'all off, I'm not off, all y'all off. Read on.
tell it unto the church.
Tell it unto what?
Tell it unto the
Then
church.
you got to bring it to the elders and everybody now. Read on.
But if he neglect to hear the church,
And if you neglect to hear, or everybody, read on.
let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican.
Then you got to stay away from him because we set apart. You understand? Treat him like a heathen man or a publican. And that's also New Testament showing you how an Israelite can become a Gentile because you don't treat him like an Israelite no more. You treat him as a heathen, right? So that's why Israelites was calling each other Gentiles. That's like me calling you when you move out the hood and now you uptown, what would I call you?
Bougie.
Bougie. You know what I'm saying? Bougie. You know what I'm saying? You done got gentrified, you know? Carlton Banks. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, like something like that. When you used to call them Gentile, right? Let me go to what you had, Matthew.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger.
Right? If he ain't even do nothing to you, you just angry with your brother because you had a bad day, and you had an argument with your brother because you had a bad day. So there's really no reason for you to be angry with your brother. Read on.
Shall be in danger of the judgment.
Shall be what?
Shall be in danger of the
Shall
judgment.
be in danger of the judgment. Read on.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council.
Right.
But,
Read on.
but whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hell of fire.
Right. So if you're over here cussing your brother for no reason, and you know the problem is really yours, because some people know when the problem is really theirs, and you're cussing them and you damning them, you're actually damning yourself. Right? So we got to tighten up with that too, people. Let me get Matthew 6 and 13.
I got a precept because I wanted to put that, you find that in the Old Testament too, right there.
All right, bring it out.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 30. Strive not a man without a cause, if he have done thee no harm.
Right? If he didn't do you no harm. You know what I'm saying? That's brotherly love.
Good precept.
So we get that Matthew 6 and 13 right quick.
This is Matthew 6 and
You give me
13.
Leviticus 19 and 18.
And lead us not into temptation,
Uh-huh.
but deliver us from evil.
So we asking God to deliver us from evil. Evil is coming, right? Great evil is coming. And we're asking God to deliver us from evil. So read that. Read on.
For thine is the kingdom
Uh-huh.
and the power
And this all belongs to us. Read on.
and the glory
If we keep the commandments, read on.
forever.
If we keep the faith, read on.
Amen.
Read on.
For if ye forgive men their trespasses,
But now if you forgive your brother your trespasses, this is your key to the kingdom that you just prayed for. Read on.
your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
Or where he will also do what?
Your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
Right, so yeah. Right, you gotta keep that in mind when you're dealing with your brothers. Read on.
Verse 15, red letter. But if you forgive not men their trespasses,
But if you do what?
if you forgive not men their trespasses,
Read on.
neither will your Father forgive your trespasses.
Right, sometimes you just gotta let it go. Right? Sometimes revenge, you're going for revenge, you gotta dig 2 holes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is what's dealing with our brothers while we building this nation. While everything is coming down, and you see a brother, you had like beef with him for years, like, you should be like, yo, shalom, brother, you know, we're supposed to be together, right? Now, if you still want to be a demon, you did your part. You understand? But that's how you're supposed to greet everybody of your nation with peace. Huh?
Come on.
Right? So let me get that Leviticus, man.
It's the book of
Give
Leviticus,
me
chapter.
Ephesians 4
This the,
and 26.
this the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 18.
Come on.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people,
Uh-huh.
but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Right, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. Right? You're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. Right? We are neighbors over here in Yasha'Allah. And I'm telling everybody, man, and I'm gonna do it myself too. I'm gonna get a long Israelite list, right, of our surrounding camps and areas. Like everybody that know HOI, I'm gonna have an Israelite list. And I'm gonna spread it around. So just in case you got family members in the city that want to repent, or just in case you're in another place when calamity happens, because we be traveling, we be working. You understand? So just get a collection of Israelite numbers in different spots. We can have like a little, like you used to have the phone books back in the days. I know y'all remember. we have like a little Israelite phone book I just printed out for Israelites that go state by state. Because in these times, man, you don't even know what's gonna happen, so you gotta have that brotherly love, right? Let me get that Ephesians. You give me Colossians 3:16.
This is the book of Ephesians 4:26.
Mm-hmm.
Be ye angry and sin not.
Be ye angry, but sin not. It's good for you to be angry about something, because that's passion, that's part of life. But sin not, though. Don't cross that line where it turns into sin, right? You know, that's turning to sin, holding grudges, coming against eye evil with your brother, your sister, anybody, right? Read on.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
And it's good to get differences settled before the sun go down. Before the end of today, we're going to solve this problem. You know what I'm saying? This is just nothing but wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that I wish I had at an early age, right? But the preachers was never bringing this out, really, right? Read on, King.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
Neither give place to the devil.
Neither give what?
Give place to the devil.
Neither give place to the devil. Once you succumb to all that anger, you give the devil a little foothold. Now the devil whispering in your head. Now you got crazy thoughts going on. Like, oh yeah, what if they really try to play me? You know what I'm saying? Right? So,
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 16. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly.
let the what?
Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly.
And these wisdoms, you see, I had a lot that came out of Matthew's, like these words of Christ dwell in you, man. Read on.
In all wisdom, teaching, and admonishing, right?
Yeah.
Admonishing one another in psalms and in hymns.
Right? What psalms and hymns?
Him.
Hymns.
Hymns.
Yeah, well, what are psalms and hymns?
Just praise.
Prayers, but prayers as a song.
Yeah, praise.
That's what the book of Psalms is,
Yeah.
right? There's a scripture that says if you're feeling sick, drink some water. If you're feeling unhappy, sing a song. You know what I'm saying? So, so when we gather together, it's good that we cheer each other on and sometimes even make music. Right? Read that again.
Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and in spiritual songs.
Spiritual songs, right? So, yeah, we don't know the one.
Singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord.
Singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord, right? Our people are so talented musically, they don't even realize who they're supposed to be making music for. Right? So let me get that. Let me get 1 Corinthians 14 and 26. And you give me Proverbs 27 and 17.
This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 26. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together? Every one of you hath a song,
Right.
hath a doctrine, hath a tongue, hath a revelation, hath an interpretation.
Right? Everybody got the breakdown. Everybody got the interpretation. Right? Read on.
Let all things be done unto edifying.
Let all things be done unto what?
Unto edifying.
Listen, and this is how you could tell that if it's false doctrine or not. Because is it edifying? Is it information that's going to make me better as a person? Is it this going to benefit my family? Is this going to benefit my nation? Is this going to make me more aware of my surroundings? So it has to be the edifying, right? The edifying of it. Oh, yeah, you know you're not supposed to eat pork. You know what I'm saying? It's bad for your brain. It's bad for your body. You know you're supposed to keep the Sabbath out. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord said. So you know it's wrong to cover what your brother got. That's wrong. You know what I'm saying? These are edifications. These are the spirit. These are the fruits of the spirit. How to grow with one another. How to treat one another. How to defend one another. How to serve our Lord. These are the fruits of the spirit. Once you start doing these things, everything else starts, coming in the will of the Most High. So read on. No, matter of fact, read that again from the top.
Come again, 1 Corinthians 14 and 26. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together? Every one of you hath a song,
Uh-huh.
hath a doctrine,
Right.
hath a tongue,
Uh-huh.
hath a revelation.
Right. Everybody got something. I got a song. I got a doctrine. I got revelation. Right. But what is this? Is it edifying though? Read on.
Hath an
Now you
interpretation.
got an interpretation. Read on.
Let all things be done unto edifying.
Right. And when we gathering together, right, it should be about the edification and uplifting of Israel. Don't argue about no stupid ass doctrines. You come to me and tell me Esau is not the white man, I might have to hit you with a book. You know what I'm saying? Right? I don't want to hear none of that. Right? Right? Like, pow. Right? Romans Edom. It's a book. Read it. You know, these are, I got, like, there's books on it. Right? But, right? Let's do everything in the edifying while we're gathering, right? So let me get our Proverbs. And you give me Ecclesiastes 4 and 9.
This the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 17. A friend loveth at all times.
A what?
A friend loveth at all times.
How many people actually have real friends? I could say that I lived in Brooklyn. I hardly had any real friends at all. Because when I was on the floor bleeding, everybody ran. Right? One person came back though. Came back, oh shit, you hit. Right? Everybody else ran. Right? You know, so real friends is hard to find. It'll be up with you when you high, but not with you when you low. Right? So who could say they had a real friend, right? Read that again.
A friend loveth at all times.
A friend loveth at all times. Read on.
And a brother is born for adversity.
And a brother is born for adversity. What does that mean? What does that mean? A brother is born for adversity. You raise your hand. What you think it means?
A brother is born in a time of trouble to help you when you going through like affliction and stuff.
In worst case scenario, like that's what your brother's for. Your brother's for worst case scenario. Like no matter what, your brother should be down for you, because like if it's like me against the world, at least I got my brother type of thing. That's what that means. Read that again, huh?
A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
Right, he's born for adversity. He's ready to take on that adversity with you. Right?
The struggle.
The struggle, yeah, the struggle and the chaos and the danger and anything. That's what that word goes up to, like anything. Like any type of stress on your life. That's what adversity is. So we get Ecclesiastes.
I was gonna say, touching on that subject,
Right.
I got a precept, which is John 15 and 18. It said, the world hate you. You know that it hated me before it hated you. I only bring that up because just like the world hated the HOI, he told us when we walk in the truth, the world gonna hate us too. So our brothers are gonna be the ones.
Yeah, we all we got. Yeah. You got Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. You give me classic. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
This is-
closing it out.
This is Ecclesiastes.
Who got a new moon scripture? And say like 2 new moon scriptures and close it out.
Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. Two are better than one.
What you say?
Two are better than one.
Now I do this all by myself.
Two are better than one.
Now I am like a one-man army.
Two are better than one.
2 are better than 1, right? Always remember that. Read on.
Because they have a good reward.
They have what?
A good reward
Read on.
for their labor.
For what?
For their labor.
When they're working together, right?
For their labor.
Right? They're labor because they're working together. You and this person, y'all down. Let's work together. Read on.
Verse 10. For if they fall,
For what?
for if they fall,
Well, if they fall, listen to this.
the one will lift up his fellow.
The one who lift up his fellow. Read on.
But woe to him that is alone.
But what?
Woe to him that is alone
Now you ain't got nobody to help you up. Read on.
when he falls.
Uh-huh.
For he hath not another to help him up.
He has not another to help him up. Read on.
Verse 11. Again, if two lie together,
Uh-huh.
then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone?
How can one be warm alone? right? It get cold. Read on.
Come on, verse 12. And if one prevail against him,
Right?
two shall withstand him.
If one prevail against him, then two shall withstand him. That means that it's something you get a win off of. It's not even competition once you have a partner that's doing the work like you are. Read on.
And the threefold cord is not quickly broken.
And a threefold cord is not quickly broken.
Come on.
It means the thicker the rope, the harder it is to cut. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's saying. Right? So, let me get this.
12 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Read on.
Fear God.
Fear who?
Fear God.
Fear the Most High God, right?
Fear Yahweh.
Fear Yahweh because his name is dreadful amongst the heathen. He's coming back and destroying this earth. Everything that you see, everything that you know is going to change. It's not going to be the same when Yahweh touches this place, man. Through the spirit and power of his son, Hamashiach Yahushua. Earth is his footstool, remember that. Right? Read on.
Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments. Read on.
For this is the whole duty of man.
But this is the whole duty of man, right? We're saying that, right? We're about to close it out with a couple of new moon scriptures. We got a couple of new moon scriptures out here, and then we can close it out. We got a new moon scripture. Get your notepad. Where's your new moon scripture?
I got one.
Kind of bring it out.
This is the book of 2 Chronicles 8, verse 13.
Come on.
Get it.
Even after a certain rate every day,
Uh-huh.
offering according to the commandment of
According to
Moses.
what?
Offering according to the commandments of Moses.
So we are the ones keeping the commandments of Moses, man. Right? Pray Yahweh stay with everybody keeping the commandments of Moses. Read on. Read on.
Oh, okay, fine. On the seventh and on the new moon.
And on the new moons, man. Right? The Sabbath is holy, and so are the new moons.
Fine.
Right? Read on.
And on the solemn feast.
And on what?
And on the solemn
That
feast.
goes into the Passover, the first fruits, all that. Read on.
3 times in the year, even in the feast of unleavened bread.
And we just finished that feast of unleavened bread.
And in the weeks, Salaki, and in the feast of weeks.
And we're about to get ready to celebrate the Pentecost. Read on.
And in the feast of tabernacles.
And then the Feast of Tabernacles, right? All praises to the Most High, man.
That was it. I got one.
You got a preset?
Psalms. Psalms chapter 81 and verse 2. No, in verse 3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon,
Come
in the time appointed on our solemn feast day.
on. Right? Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. That's what we did, right? Blow up the trumpet, start the lesson. Come on.
For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the God of Jacob. Keep going.
Come on.
This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. I think
That's it.
yeah.
All right. What precept?
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 10, verse 34.
Bring it out.
More, furthermore, I will that all the feasts and Sabbaths and new moons and solemn days and the 3 days before the feast and the 3 days after the feast shall be all of immunity and freedom for all the Jews in my realm.
For what?
For all the Jews. Freedom for all the Jews in my realm.
All the Jews in his realm, right? So the Most High God got us in his circumference, man. And that's why all the Jews in our realm should be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? So that's our job. Our job is to be the shepherds to gather them. Right? Because they're coming in. They're going to come in a lot this summer. There's going to be a calamity, and there's going to be judgment. That was it? All right, let's get one more. Let's get Isaiah, the 66th chapter. This is the last verse.
Last one. You got it.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, and verse 24.
Bring it out.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcass of the man that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their
It's
fire.
23.
Oh, verse 23. So like it. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon unto another,
That from what?
one new moon to another,
So we are the ones right now doing the new moons, right? They gotta catch up. You know?
and from one Sabbath to another,
And we be on the Sabbath, right? Hustling, getting that recompense, man. Giving out them law, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
shall all flesh come to worship before me.
Shall all what?
Shall all flesh come to worship before me.
This is when Israel's gonna be reigning supreme. Hold that out. Let me get Isaiah, Daniel. Let me get Daniel 2 and 44. This one, you keep what you got. I want him to get that. 2 and 44. Right, when he says all flesh, that's because he's gonna conquer everybody. That's Daniel 2 and 44.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a king. Shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom,
Read on.
which shall never be destroyed.
What shall what?
Which shall
Shall
never
never
be
be
destroyed.
So this is the kingdom that they're gonna have to be worshiping our new moons. Read on.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
It shall not be left to other people. That's plain and simple. Why would it say that, right? It shall not be left to other people. Read on.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
So it's gonna break in pieces and consume all the rest of the kingdoms of the earth. They have to do what we say. Period. Read on.
And it shall stand forever.
And it shall what?
It shall stand forever.
It shall stand forever. So this is the kingdom that we're gonna set up. All for the heathens' backs. They better build it good, right? And this what this is talking about. It's a future prophecy when all flesh is gonna be celebrating the new moon, because we're gonna shut shit down. Like, yo, shut shit down for new moon. The nation's gonna be like, okay, boss. He ain't gonna even want to look at you.
What that go with Daniel's 49 when it's talking about the nursing mothers?
Yeah. Isaiah 49. Father, nursing mothers. Go back and read that new moon scripture.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me,
See that? All flesh gotta worship. Read on.
saith the Lord.
Right? Read.
Verse 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses.
He said, and you're gonna look upon the carcasses. And you'll be like, yo, these are the people I didn't want to listen. Read on.
Then they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the man that have transgressed against me.
Yeah. Ain't nobody a bigger gangster than your house. I don't give a damn what anybody talk about. He said this is gonna happen, right? You're gonna come worship me all flesh. And you're gonna look at the people I had to get rid of because they transgressed me. Just so you remember not to mess with me no more. Right, read on.
For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto flesh, unto all flesh.
Yeah, it can be abhorrent unto all flesh. So with that being said, all praises to the Most High God, right? By Shema Mashiach Yahushai, right? That comes to a closing, right? You can stop the prayer.